I'm Gugu, and we're back in the mother city of Cape Town for round 7 of the Westbank Super Series. You're about to watch the Bridgestone production cars.
The Bridgestone Production Car Championship heads for its final coastal assault of the year. It's Killarney, Cape Town, South Africa for round number 7, and there's plenty at stake for Audi, BMW, Subaru, Volkswagen, Ford and Opel. The two class leaders, Ferrari and Nathan, will know that this is crunch time and points are crucial. Will this be the defining round?
Qualifying, as always, down in Cape Town. Very, very tricky conditions. They went out. The Bridgestone Production Car Brigade were all at it and fired up. Humphrey was closing down and looking to catch Anthony Taylor, who makes his 30-year anniversary here in Cape Town. But it was his teammate Melville Priest who pipped him to the line.
So front row, Melville Priest and Anthony Taylor, Team Aprox BMW.
Second row is made up of two Audis, Johan Ferrari and Michael Stephen, pushing hard in their S4s.
On the next row, with plenty to do, Chop Sapuka and Kenny Groenewald in a Subaru.
Subaru's battling a little bit, and you can see Pinard alongside Niels Modak, who makes his debut in Class A.
The mechanics have worked tirelessly to get this car again fixed, and they've done you justice.
Yeah, look, I mean, we had a big one in PE. We followed that up with pole in East London. Got taken out in the first lap, so our pole we couldn't capitalize on. Got pole here again today. I hope the luck's turned. I believe it has. Got my teammate next to me this time. That'll help, and we're sure to give them a go.
New championship leader in the standings at the moment. What are your expectations today?
Yeah, I think the strategy is just go out there and try our best. Make sure, first of all, to finish the races, don't do a kamikaze move, but yeah, if we can win, why not?
Kamikaze moves in Cape Town from Johan Ferrari? Never heard of that. Here we go, down towards Westbank Corner, on board with Johan Ferrari. As they head into Westbank Corner, it's BMW's 1 and 2. Will Ferrari get the drop on Michael Stephen? He's done that. He's gone to 3rd place. Michael Stephen in 4th, and Chop Sapuka just slotting in behind his teammates.
All right, hopefully everything will be okay as they move on to engine corner. Kenny Groenewald, a lot to do. He did salvage some points in the last round, but only just.
Oh, look at how he's having to work now on the back end of 3 Audis and 2 BMWs. As we said, the Sasa Subaru team have backed a little bit down here in Cape Town. They've got a lot of catching up to do, considering the fact that they missed out on 3 of the races at the previous round. So it's all up to Henny G and Richard Pinard to fly the flags high.
All right, with the new Akrapovic system, those BMWs are like stealth bombers, as we said before, and they really look like they're on the pace. In particular, Melville Priest doing a sterling job at the front at the moment as he leads them out and chasing down, of course, in 3rd place, Johan Ferrari.
Just think about it. Melville Priest has had 2 tragic rounds where he's ended up either in the wall or being forced wide by somebody else's mistake. And now they've got those cars sorted out. And look at how the single turbo machines are pulling away here from this S4. Supercharger in the house, and Ferrari at his home ground is normally untouchable, but he's got a lot of work to do now to catch the 2 BMWs. He runs a slightly wide out of Cape Town, as we see, and now gets on the throttle, on the loud pedal, and trying to close down on Taylor.
Yeah, certainly those Subarus near the back of the field, 6th and 7th position at the moment, need a lot of work at the moment. But right now, it's all about the Audis and BMWs.
Good to see Niels Modak running really high up. He's in Ferrari's old A4. And he comes down onto the braking markers. You can see the S4s are the cars that are in question at the moment. They are pushing hard, trying to close down on the BMWs. But the 2 rear-wheel drive cars are definitely having the edge here. And that's not normally what happens down in Cape Town. At the coastal circuits, we expect to see the 4-wheel drive cars being the dominant factor. But you can see that Aprox BMW have got those cars finely tuned for the circuit.
Yeah, they put a lot of work on as we go on board with Johan Ferrari and that new S4. The only difference is out there, we get another A4, his old faithful Modak running that car, and you can understand why he's gone to the S4 to compete with the Team Engine Extreme of Stephen and Chop Sapuka. Of course, could it be the defining round today? Well, we've got a lot of racing ahead of us.
This is only race 1 of 4, and of course, all of these guys sprint races for today. Remember, just before they go into race number 2, they've got a pre-race set up on the grid. The guys can actually only have 5 minutes to make any changes to the cars that might have gone wrong in race 1. So far, we've got all the cars on the grid, and that's a good sign for Bridgestone production cars.
It is indeed. We've lost a lot of cars in some previous rounds as well. I think the clerk of the course has said to these boys, listen, driver's briefing, you better just toe the line here, otherwise there's going to be trouble.
Yeah, definitely laid that law down, that is for sure. Ferrari, look how hard he's working in the cockpit, and he's getting onto the back end, but he's just not able to make up that little gap that Taylor's pulled out. Taylor on the inside, though, is pushing even harder than expected. Oh, he runs slightly wide out of West Bank corner, and you can see just how hard he's pushing these Bridgestone tyres. They come up onto the rumble strip on the exit of turn 1. That is West Bank corner. Down Joubert Straight. Watch for the Cape Town line. That outside line, that's the Cape Town line to watch out for. The Superbike guys use it because there's a bump on the inside, and you can see Michael Stevens been watching them because he's trying to use it to get around Ferrari.
This is a great advert for that DSTV drifter. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's definitely check how he's drifting it around there, that's for sure. They come flying into Rose Foundation, and Michael Stevens is all over the back of Ferrari. He goes alongside him. They are side by side, heading up to Malmesbury. Has he got what it takes on the brakes? Has he got him on the inside? Yes, he has. A little bit of grass too. Oh, that's brilliant stuff. And a little tap going onto the back straight.
Unbelievable. Alan Malmesbury, and of course he's got the drive now. Ferrari is really under pressure. Of course, it's absolutely brilliant racing at the moment, and still I'm concerned about the Subarus, not on the pace at the moment, Greg.
Well, you can see that they're battling. They're getting onto the back end of Chopsapuka. The battle we're watching right now is for third place on the road. I think 1 and 2 is done and dusted. I don't think Anthony Taylor's going to force too many errors, although as I say that, he closes onto the back end of Priest, as Michael Stevens does the exact same thing. Gets great drive out of Cape Town. Now let's see if he can slingshot and get past through the slipstream system, heading down towards West Bank corner.
Yeah, it is a demanding corner as well. They come in here at really serious pace. Look at him going wide. Anthony's not going to get involved in this. It looks like this could be Melville. He's quite happy to let Melville go along. But really, they are performing superbly at the moment, and they've got really great pace on Johan Free, which is bizarre for me.
All of a sudden, team orders come into play. There are none, and that's the most important factor. You see Melville Priest, he's having to work even harder than he had for the first part of this race because Taylor is now hassling and wanting past. He can see in the background that Johan Free is being hassled by Stephen. If Stephen gets through, he's got to try and get through on Melville Priest and secure more valuable championship points if he wants to maintain that #1 plate.
So, getting close to the end of this round. Oh, Ferrari ducking and diving and making that Audi really wide. Stephen looking for a way through. Out of Malmesbury through that corner, very tricky. Look at the drifting of these two cars. Has he got the slingshot? Will he have the speed down the back straight, Greg?
Well, they are now in Slipstream City. Look at that. There goes one BMW pulling out, other Audi pulling out. They're on the outside of the circuit, so the two men in 1 and 3 on the road definitely know where they've got to be. Oh, a little touch, a big touch, in fact, as Stephen clips the back end of Ferrari. He goes onto the grass. Massive engine flame out of the side of that car as he geared down to keep it on board. Thank goodness he had four-wheel drive. He kept it on board, but it is Melville Priest who takes the victory. Second place is going to go to his teammate, Anthony Taylor. How far back did Michael Stevens end up after that? I think he would have probably dropped behind the Subarus, which is going to put him in about 8th spot.
All right, let's have a look at the replay. Ferrari's got his line. He chooses that. Oh, and Michael Stevens just miscalculates that and puts it into the grass at the moment, and he's going to lose a lot of points here.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's fallen way back, but he has got another 3 races to play, and you can see he's got pace here. Priest and Taylor taking 1 and 2, 3 to Ferrari, 4 to Chopsapuka, and Henrik Revolt in 5.
Was there any pressure from Anthony Taylor, your teammate, in that race?
Yeah, I managed to get away the first 4 laps or so. Then I had a brake issue into the last corner on the second last lap. He got right onto me. And then it was just a matter of defending, you know. It's great for the team, you know. We've worked so hard the last 2 races, been terribly unlucky. And the team got together 2 cars for both races that was just brilliant, you know. I mean, 2 builds in a matter of 2 months, total rebuilds. The Team Afrox team has done a magnificent job at it.
Certainly have, and it's an 8-car inverted grid. And guess what, Steve? We're having a rolling start.
How different. Modak under pressure. He's leading the big boys out, and he will come under serious pressure. There's no doubt about that. He's in Ferrari's old car, the A4 Audi, and look at Michael Stevens. Now, how fortuitous is this? He runs off, doesn't get the points, and now he starts on the front row.
That's how this system works, and it's brilliant. And you can see he's on the inside corner, and Modak forces him wide. Uses a little bit of Cape Town knowledge there, and good work there from Modak. Watch him hold the inside line. He won't go to Cape Town line now, because in the first couple of laps, you cannot afford to go on that wide line. Stephen went there, and check that out. Pinard's going to try and go on the inside of him. This is an awesome start to race number 2. But as we said, Modak was on pole as we go on board with his stablemate, Johan Ferrari. 2 Indy Oil Audis involved in some big fracas here at the front end, and it's great to see.
Well, those 2 cars are absolutely identical. other than the front grille and the lights. And there we can see it right now. Oh, look at this. Michael Stephen on the inside, and he does Modak. And who's going through? Kenny Grunewald.
It is Grunewald. Well spotted there, Steve. He must have been let through by Pinard early on. Faree's on his tail, and he has to get going real quick. Yeah, they come down the back straight away. It's nearly 4 cars abreast. Watch for Henny Grunewald trying to go defensive. Faree's on the inside. Pinard's on his tail. It's a Indy Oil sandwich here. The 2 Sassel cars and the 2 Indy Oil cars absolutely evenly matched. Modak just being bullied everywhere he goes. And unfortunately, he's gone from pole position down into 5th, 6th place, maybe. Oh, man, what a start to the race.
He must be petrified in that car. He knows it's all coming his own way as well. Right, a big chance for the BMWs to make some points here, and early ground being made at the moment. Still a long way to go in the second race, but it's the first time we've had 8 cars inverted, and really luck does come into play on this one.
And luck is falling into the hands of Michael Stephen, because Michael Stephen, as you said, went off on the end of the race and has now been gifted an opportunity to take a victory. You can see the 2 BMs battling, still behind Chopsapuka. Round the outside, it's Taylor. On the inside, we've got Melville Priest. Priest is going to go side by side with his teammate. Here they go through the kink. Gives enough room there to Taylor, but they are absolutely evenly matched. And Taylor, oh, brilliant on the brakes into Rose Foundation. 120 k's an hour, you can see up to 140, now pushing to the 150, 160 mark. This is a short straightaway, close to 180 k's an hour before they climb on the anchors and just slide it into Montfrey. Brilliant bit of stuff here.
If I'm not mistaken, the last time we're here, and of course this is our second time in Cape Town in 1 year, absolute pleasure, and again the fans have turned out in their droves.
230 kilometers an hour, and then they climb hard on the brakes all the way down the gearbox, down to 2nd gear for Cape Town corner. And Pinard is doing a fantastic job for his teammate there. He's holding up not only Chopsapuka, but both the Aprox BMWs. Here we go, back on board with Melville Priest. Watch this is the second fastest part of the circuit. We're at 180 k's an hour. We're going to get close to the 220 mark as they get onto the brakes for West Bank corner. Look at that, 220 k's an hour, and then it's hard on the anchors, all the way down into 2nd gear and into West Bank corner.
Pinard getting lovely drive on the outside, but it's not the place you want to be. He'll get a better line on the inside of the corner. Didn't have enough there. Michael Stephen, who set the fastest lap in race 1. We certainly know he's got the pace at the moment, Greg.
Oh, where is Pinard going? Using that all-wheel drive Subaru to a little bit of less effect than what he wanted in engine corner, and he just didn't get that one right, unfortunately. Pinard in the Sassel Subaru, he has to come straight back onto the tarmac, and he's now right at the back of the field.
Well, if the camera is shot towards the audience with Pinard coming towards them, they'd all look like badgers, wide-eyed. Here we go, back on, and it's Michael Stephen on the final lap. We know he's got the pace, as I said earlier on. He'll be under no pressure whatsoever. This could be the points he wanted. He picks up the checkered flag. A great win, and the Subarus are in there. Well done.
Brilliant bit of driving there from Henny Grunewald to keep out the Audis. So it's Michael Stephen taking race 2, and a good bit of driving there from the Engine Extreme Audi man. He takes the victory. Henny Grunewald in 2nd place in the Subaru. Faree, Chopsapuka, and Anthony Taylor eventually up to 5th in the BM.
Well, I think this is the first time we've actually had no incident in one of the races. And there's the man, the king of the reverse grid.
Points were necessary. Well done on the win. Bit tough out there, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, most definitely. Race 1, I was a bit quicker than Johan towards the end of the race. We had a moment in Malmesbury, and then I tried to go around the outside in the last corner, the last lap. Because of the cam of the wheels we touched, I went off, Johan carried on. It put me 2nd on the grid for the reverse race. You know, I made the most of it. Modak put up a good fight on the opening lap. And once I got in front, you know, I managed to hold it there. We had a bit of accident damage. My mechanics did a great job to repair it on the grid and give me a race-winning car.
Anthony Taylor, this is from West Bank. This is a true milestone for you. 30 years of experience in motorsport is not a joke. It's about enthusiasm, it's about confidence and strength. You are a brand on your own. West Bank says, go ahead. Congratulations.
Just like to congratulate you on 30 years in motorsport. It's an amazing feat in South African motorsport industry to achieve 30 years. It shows you the quality of driver that you are. Also well done on the many championships you have achieved. I hope there are many more lying ahead. Nice to be racing with you. Hope to be racing plenty in the future with you, so keep it up.
Kobus Jansen from Sassel Group Communications here. Anthony, we just want to wish you all the very best. It's excellent that you've been involved with motor racing for 30 years. It's all the very best from Sassel.
Well done to Anthony for 30 years of racing, and he's been a great ambassador for the sport, and I hope he continues to do so elsewhere or still in the sport.
Hi Anthony, well done on 30 years of racing from Team Sassel Subaru. Had some great times on the circuit and hope to have many more.
Yeah, Anthony, welcome to the senior citizen for motor racing. Congratulations.
Obviously, this weekend's Anthony's 30th year in racing, so just want to say congratulations to him. To stick it out in a motorsport environment for 30 years is quite something. Also, to race against someone with that sort of experience, the old fox in the class. But all the best for the future as well.
Anthony, I wish I could have raced against you from the beginning so I could have gave you a proper hiding. I'm just joking, my man. Congratulations on 30 years of motorsport. It's an awesome achievement, and you're a great racer, talented racer, hard racer, so I hope there's plenty more battles we can forward to in the near future.
From Bridgestone Production Cars, Anthony Taylor, 30 years in motor racing. Well done.
This is round 7 of the Bridgestone Production Car Series in the Westbank Super Series. Yeah, this year it's been quite an up and down season for me. The last race in particular also we had an incident where Henny Groenewald came from behind and took unfortunately both our cars out, and we had to park it for the rest of the day. So the championship is pretty much to end for us, but there's still 3 rounds left, and we want to see of those 3 rounds how many we can win. Rivals, I would say one in particular is Johan Ferry. I think he's very much like what I am. Hard driver, clean but hard. Henny Groenewald is one that you have to sort of be careful of because he's also very hard. He's one of those guys that you have to be aware of. Sponsors, Afrox. I mean, without them, none of this would have been possible, and of course, not to forget to mention the BMW, the performance part products. I mean, with them on board, that's exactly why the car is where it is. And also, it's a special month for me this month. It's my 30th year in starting on 30 years of motorsport, so it's going to be great, and I hope that I can continue doing this for another 30 years, hopefully, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see about that. So I can tell you now that production car racing in this country is definitely world class, and I reckon it's, as far as category of drivers go, you will be amongst the best in the world, that's for sure. This is Bridgestone Production Cars in the Westbank Super Series.
So here we go, racing once again in Cape Town, Killarney, round number 7. And the man who sticks it on pole from the fastest lap is Michael Stephen in the Audi, and this is where he likes to be, Greg.
Well, he's on the front row and he's on pole position, but around his outside he's being hassled already by Melville Priest, and a little bit of rubbing is racing between the two of them out of Westbank corner. But he runs it wide and puts the Audi in front, so getting the whole shot is very, very crucial here. Let's see if he can keep it all together now as Michael Stephen looks to take away some more points and maybe still be in the hunt here for this overall championship in Class 8.
Looking at Henny Groenewald as we go on board right now, going around the outside, trying to stay out of trouble. Will pay handsome dividends, as we've seen in the last couple of rounds. Staying out of trouble will always benefit you, and you'll pick up maximum points.
So the front end is now Michael Stephen. Behind him is Melville Priest being forced hard here by Johan Ferry, the local man. He always goes well here in Cape Town, and he doesn't like to leave the circuit without at least one victory in the bag for that Indy Oil Audi of his. Behind them, it is, whoa, look at that battle. Chop Sapuka all over the 30-year-old man, and here he comes. Anthony Taylor, 30 years in motorsport, down to the fastest part of the circuit. And thanks, Vic Maharaj. The speedometer's not working, but that's 240 kilometers an hour before he climbs on the anchors and gets to one of the trickiest corners in motorsport in South Africa.
Do you think he's done that on purpose?
Probably. Doesn't want to give away any of the top secret stuff from Afrox BMW. Right. Look at this, though. Whoa, Ferry having to go defensive. He goes right onto the inside as Taylor comes with him. Has a look on the inside, but then has to get forced to the outside of Westbank. Watch for the slingshot here. He's going to go on the inside. He's going to cut that apex very late. He's going to be on the outside for turn 2, engine corner. But it's going to be tough stuff to get past Johan Ferry. He knows his way around this track very well.
Well, how quick was Melville Priest then? Like a slingshot, Stephen's been leading them out. Where on earth did that come from? Wow, awesome power.
Perfectly done, and that's exactly what Anthony Taylor wanted to do, but unfortunately just got blocked there by Johan Fourie, so we have a new leader. Can you believe that? The BM has got to the front, and Priest is going for another victory here. He is not holding back today. He is definitely making up for that lost ground in the last couple of rounds where he's been forced wide and crashed out.
Wow, look at this amazing stuff, and Chop Sapuka has really improved this entire season. The car is strong, the package is good, and he's getting better and better.
Yeah, he's getting the exact same car as Michael Stephen, the two of them on evenly matched machinery as they head down the back straightaway now. Look at how Taylor's falling back there slightly into the hands of Chop Sapuka, who's actually doing the same thing, and Groenewald is sitting waiting going, yeah, make a mistake and I'm going to pounce.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time though, isn't it? It always has been.
Now we go on board with him as they go through the kink onto the main straight. This BMW, Audi and Subaru battle at the front end has been absolutely magic here today. You don't get better or closer racing anywhere in the country, I can tell you that much. Now onto the braking markers into Westbank. He turns it in. A little bit of smoke coming out of Chop Sapuka's car there.
Second gear.
And, oh man, look at him how he's working the wheel. Gets on nicely. But I'm a bit concerned about that smoke coming out of Chops's car. That might be costly later on.
Yeah, I saw it earlier on as well, but I didn't think it was going to be much of a problem. We'll have to wait and see. That could be terminal maybe later. I'm not going to put the mockers on him again.
So as they go out of the kink now, down towards Rose Foundation, it's BMW, 2 Audis, another BM and a third Audi. That's the front end of this battle. The Subaru waiting to pounce, as we said, and Henrik Groenewald is not too far off. Whatever they've done with the car in between the race 2 and race 3, they've sorted it out because they've definitely got a much better package than what we saw out of them. Even though he was at the front end in race 2, he definitely is going a lot better now as we're on board with Taylor down the back straight away.
This is where all the speed comes into play at the moment. We know who's got the big engine power plants, and it's normally the Audis, and the BMWs are really showing that they are seriously in contention today. And there it is, Anthony Taylor in fourth behind Johan Fourie, chasing him down out of Cape Town corner, and now it's the march down the straight.
Chop Sapuka trying to close down now, but he's lost a little bit of ground, so has Groenewald. So that little gap might just maintain and be able to keep there. Look at this, Michael Stephen, oh, and Fourie side by side. Oh, and a little touch, a little bit of Rubbings Racing, a little bit of retribution there from Fourie. He gets on the inside. This time, Stephen holds that outside line. If he can keep it all together, nobody can. Fourie just powers past. Brilliant bit of driving there from Johan Fourie. And enough room there given, but only just by Michael Stephen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was only Michael Stephen's chance, was to actually keep the power on the inside. It would have got him into a great line into engine. But I'll tell you, where's the power come from? Johan Fourie.
Brilliant bit of driving there. You know what that is? That's local knowledge. He's got so much time and track time here at the circuit. He knows exactly where to put the car. He knows exactly where the other cars are going to go if they're on another line. And that helps out huge. Here comes Sapuka, trying to put the pressure now onto Taylor. Taylor just cuts his nose off and comes across along the Tiger Works straight into Malmesbury. Looking for a way through, but Sapuka's actually pushing him. Look at that, he actually gave him a little nudge going on to move it back straight. That's brilliant stuff. Audi versus BMW and Audi versus Audi just in front of them. It's 4 cars abreast. Here they come for Cape Town. Watch the outbraking maneuvers here as Stephen goes wide. Will he be able to cut it? Will he get it right this time?
Yeah.
That's where he got it wrong last time.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what? Johan Fourie's a wily character. He knows that line inside, and as you said, he's been racing here tons and tons of times, and he just knows exactly where to get into Cape Town corner. On the straightaway they go, and Stephen has got to bring more pressure to bear. But there's not enough time because Melville Priest wins it outright. Brilliant drive from him.
Brilliant drive from the guys behind as well, as Priest takes his second victory for the day. Fourie comes through in second place. Great stuff for the Cape Town local boys, and they're going to be happy with that. Third place going to Michael Stephen, hanging on only just to keep out Taylor, and Chop Sapuka in fifth in the Audi.
4 sprint races, and of course the young lady shows 4, inverted, predictably a rolling start, Greg.
Yeah, that means Henrik Groenewald is going to have his work cut out for him here. You can see he's just behind the first 4 cars. He's in 5th place on the grid, heading down towards Westbank corner, and this is where things are going to get really sorted out. At the front end, Taylor goes into turn 1 first. Behind him, we've got a pushing, and look at how it's already started. Rubbings racing in the background, and Melville Priest being forced wide. And look at it, it's Chop Sapuka. He's putting the pressure on. Priest runs wide, nearly gets on the dirty stuff, and well done, Melville.
Yeah, not a great place to be, that's for sure. As you go into this corner, really demanding, and you've got to pick a really good line. But there it is, the Audi's leading them out. And how dominant have they been, apart from the BMWs, that is?
Well, that's the battle we're watching, and it's BMW. Oh, look at Taylor! Absolutely sideways. We had some Japanese drifters out here on the day. They haven't got anything on Anthony Taylor as he comes through there in the BMW. Rear-wheel drive, single turbo versus 4-wheel drive quattro system and a supercharger. And that's what it's been all day. BM versus Audi. The German battle is here.
You know what I think has been very clever, and they've got a superb team back in these Team Aprox BMWs. They were a 335 twin turbo, now that single with a new Acropogic pipe, I think has really done them a lot of good.
You know, the Acropogic system very, very good on that car, and as you said, makes them very quiet compared to the Audis, but they get the job done. That's all we need to worry about, and Taylor's doing just that. He wants to end the day at the top of the podium, and what a way to mark his 30th anniversary in motorsport. Audi's going across the line. BMW there in 5th place. Here comes the first Subaru. And Henry Grunewald, he's just lost the gap there. He's got to try and get up there, and he's using Pinard to help him out.
All right, so here comes Chop Sapuka. He's a wingman to Michael Stephen. I was just calculating, when you're saying 30 years of anniversary for Anthony Taylor, would that have meant Michael Stephen was 1 or 2 or not even on the circuit?
I don't think he was on the blip on the radar at this stage. Sure, exactly. But he's racing, and he's been there for a long, long time. The bank manager, as I like to call him, because he helped me out once in Dubai. But here we go, down into Rose Foundation sweep, and he's leading out. And the 3 Audis at this stage do not have an answer.
So on the back straight they go, and of course it is still leading out the BMW, and boy, have they had a really good day so far. Freeze 2 wins, and maybe Taylor wants some of that as well.
Well, he's going to take the 3rd win, for BMW, that's for sure. In race 4 of Bridgestone Production Cars Class A, heading down towards the line. Johan Free's going to push him all the way, but it's going to be Taylor, and what a way to end the day. That's the way to do it. Stephen comes through the 3rd. Sapuka is in 4, and unfortunately Melville Priest this time out has to settle for 5th place.
Well, the championship standings right now, Ferrari has managed to just keep the points ahead of Michael Stephen. But a great win for BMW here today.
So Aprox BMW taking the 3rd victory out of 4 today. 2nd place going to Johan Free. Michael Stephen getting some more championship points, and it's a good battle there between the 2 of them. Sapuka and Priest, 4 and 5. And after 30 years of racing, he kind of still knows how to do some victories. Well done, Anthony.
30 years of motor racing. It's not a bad present, is it?
No, not at all. You know, Steve, I've had a bit of a drought, you know, since February, I think was my last win, and finally the bug's been broken, and what a way to do it on my 30th anniversary of motorsport. And I just hope that I can carry this over into the off-road series now as well, because it's now time.
He's had a busy season, and unfortunately he's out of the championship running, but Ferrari and Stephen are so closely matched, and Henry Grunewald is still there. He's just under 100 points. 2 rounds of SWAT Cups to come with the endurance race.
Hi, I'm Richard Pinard from Team Sassel Subaru. See you at the next event at SWAT Cups, Sassel Race Day, 5th of November.
Join us after the break for Class T action. A massive coup for the circuit, as well as for Westbank Super Series, as Brian Smith, head of Western Province Motor Club, got Patricia de Lille, the mayoress of Cape Town, to come down and spend some time at the racetrack. She got a chance to go out with Andrea Bate in her team Ford Focus.
Qualifying as it starts, Andrea Bate, one of her debuts in the Ford, and she's done really well in that car, and it looks like she belongs in this Class T racing. Martel will certainly be under pressure. He needs points against Graham Nathan. He's not there in qualifying, something going on with the car, but as always, Michael van Rooyen looking good in an OPC Opel.
And Williams Huntman at the front end and on pole position alongside him. Sean Germany, a big surprise to see him on the front row ahead of his teammate and his new teammate for Martin Bate.
Then on the next row, it's Abraham Levy. What a great colour to that car. There's some Esser on 5 and 6.
7th place with a bit of a misfire, Bonafide, and Nathan still developing the Golf 6.
Really good result there for you today.
Yes, it was a great result. I can only thank my team. They spent till 6 o'clock this morning fixing the car. They went home, had a shower, came back, we ran it, it was perfect. And I can only thank them. It was a brilliant lap, and I could do it on my first lap.
Raised eyebrows, I've got to tell you. We've become unaccustomed to see you so far. Anything wrong? What's the problem?
No, nothing wrong. We unfortunately had a bit of a problem with the exhaust system here. We're going to sort it out. The team, as you can see in the background, are working frantically to fix the exhaust. But we're in the game. We were doing very, very good times yesterday. The guys were very worried about the Golf 6. It performed well in East London, and I don't see why it won't do the same here.
So on the front row, and look at that, Germany pulling into pit lane already. Looks like he might have a slow puncture. That's not the start he wanted, but it is going to open up an opportunity for Gary Formato and Andrea Bate to sneak up on Michael van Rooyen. We're on board with Graham Nathan, and he now goes on the hunt for the two Fords and the Opel in front of him. He's got to get past the other two GTIs of the local men, Essa and Levy, and he's done that early on, sneaking through and getting up right at the front end. Check this, Steve. Brilliant stuff. He's on Andrea Bate, making her debut, and now under some serious pressure.
Yeah, well, he won't take too long to go past. In fact, I think he already has. But the thing is, you've got to consider here, because of a bad qualifying, look at the weight difference. He's not going to be carrying as much as what he should be.
That's for sure, but he's still being forced wide here and having to work hard because Andrea Bate is not going to make it easy for him. Formato all over the back of Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen hanging on. Bate is still in third place. There goes Abraham Levy. Nathan still getting to grips. Cold tyres. And that Golf 6 and in the background. Whoa! Sideways action. That's what it's all about. Welcome to production car racing, Andrea. Yeah, well held, the young lady. Brilliant bit of driving there. But of course, also local knowledge coming into play as she now gets onto the attack, looking for the jive bunny in front of her. And that's Levy. And he's got the bonnet open all the way down the back straight away.
So into Cape Town corner we go, and still leading out Michael van Rooyen in the OPC Opel Astra. Formato bringing pressure to bear. They've got great representation out there for today. There's Nathan in third at the moment, and he's not finished with this as well. And the other thing to consider, the other Ford has Sean Duminy got back onto this racetrack.
Well, hopefully he has, but he's going to be a couple of laps down, and he's going to play a role, that's for sure. He always does. Coming into West Bank corner, Van Rooyen, Formato and Nathan. Top three and looking really good. The championship deciding factor is in second and third, and we're looking at the man who leads out. Formato now, he's got to get all the points he can. And Graham Nathan, you can see, they've worked hard on the car. They're still doing a huge amount of development. And as you were picking up earlier in the qualifying, Steve, the Fords are not on the same kind of pace as they have been all season long.
Well, they're there right now at the moment, and we have the normal three protagonists. Guess who's missing? Gennaro Bonafide.
Yeah, unfortunately, he had some major hassle with the misfire. You can see him just in the background there and just circulating, trying to get some points in the bag. So remember, there's only 8 cars on the grid. We've already lost 2 of them. Essa's gone missing. Duminy went in the first corner as they came onto the start-finish straight. And there is a move. Whoa, through Malmesbury. How do you find a line through there? Formato saw it. He opened up the door. He tried to close it, but by the time he tried to close it, Nathan was already through, and he's now got his sights set on that Williams Hunt OPC. And Van Rooyen, watch out, the Rustenburg rocket is going to be under massive pressure now in the Cape Town corner.
Well, 40 kilograms the difference. I mean, he's not carrying any weight at the moment because he qualified so badly. That is the reason at the moment, on top of his base weight, the ballast success that OPC is carrying at the moment is 70 kilograms. That's why Nathan is blowing past him.
Golf 6 hits the front as they come onto the main straight away. So this is what it's all about now. Indy Oil and Graham Nathan in the front. OPC and Williams Hunt in second place with Michael van Rooyen, and he's at the wheel, trying to hang on, trying to stay with Graham Nathan. You can see just how hard they're both having to work here as Gary Formato is losing ground. But as we said, it looks like the Fords don't have the same kind of pace we saw earlier. In the background, Andrea Bate hanging on to 4th place. First time out in Bridgestone production cars, and the young lady is holding her own. There is no doubt about it. She's got what it takes, and this is where she needs to be.
Well, she's also had the blessing of Patricia DeLille, the Cape Town mayoress as well. Also, I just can't get over what a stunning coup that was for motor racing here in Cape Town.
So they come flying through Rose Foundation Sweep up towards the Tigerberg Straight. 2 cars running wide there was Formato and Van Rooyen. That Golf 6 absolutely planted as they went down Tigerberg. Now they're getting onto the back straight. They're coming in amongst some of the back markers there. Hopefully it's not going to play into the hands of anybody in this little battle because this 3-way has not been sorted out yet. Look at how Formato is having to work hard. He comes down the back straight. He's late on the brakes. He looks for a way to go on the inside of the Opel. He's got that inside line. He's done it. Brilliant stuff from Formato. Michael van Rooyen running slightly wide out of Cape Town, and that's just allowed Formato to sneak through.
Yeah, he's definitely got some great brakes on that car at the moment. He really outbrakes Michael van Rooyen then. He's up to second, and he knows this is important. Only 2 rounds to go. Final lap it is. Graham Nathan leading out, and Gary Formato not going to like this as well because he came in leading the championship, and there's only a few points in it. How amazing is this championship so far, Greg?
Well, Graham Nathan's pulled back those 4 points that he had as a deficit to Gary Formato, and it's probably going to be about 1 or even points as they go into race number 2. That's a brilliant start to the day. What a drive from 8th place on the grid to take the win in race number 1. So Gary Formato now has to go and have a chat to the boys on the grid in the pre-race on the grid for race 2, because that's where they're going to sort things out. Gary Formato in second place, as we said. Michael van Rooyen, a good drive from him. The pole man down to 3rd, Bate in 4th, and Bonafide eventually 5th.
The car was amazing. Was the weight an issue? Because you weren't carrying much, were you?
I was carrying absolutely nothing, and the motor car is just incredible with no weight in it.
We'll see in the last race. I'm sure I was quickest there, and I'm probably going to have maximum ballast. Unfortunately, Gary was carrying maximum ballast this time, so he was going to battle, but that's how the series is orchestrated. But let's have a look now.
Race 2, and all cars are going to be inverted with a rolling start, as we saw from Class A, which means we're going to see Ibrahim Levy, the Jive Bunny, in front. He's alongside Sean Dermody, who makes a welcome return. Watch out for Essa coming from the pit lane, and Gennaro Bonafide. He had to start there due to the fact that he was given a penalty down in East London, and of course that means both race 1 and race 2 he starts from pit lane. Essa, unfortunately, had problems in race 1 and had to go and get them sorted out, had to go in a pit lane. It looks like they've got them sorted out, and it looks like we're back into the fray here, as we see Gary Vermato under massive pressure from Graham Nathan early on into engine corner, and on the inside of Andrea Bate. Will Andrea help him out? She will slightly, as Graham Nathan has to just tap out of that one. It's still early on. He doesn't want to push it too hard.
All right, on board with Graham Nathan, and concerned right now for Sean Dermody as well. I don't know what's going on with that car. And we've got 3 forwards out there at the moment. Look at Nathan. He really is just powering this car around this Cape Town circuit at the moment. So leading him out, Levy, and he'll have to hold on, really, but he's going to come under a lot of pressure as it's starting to happen now from Vermato. He will blast past him. We know that Ford has got straight line speed, but it's just not happening today.
Look at how he's being hassled now. It's going to be 3 abreast. Golf 5 GTI on the inside, Ford ST Focus in the middle, and Golf 6 around the outside, GTI, and lights ablaze. Those lights are just the ABS system kicking in, so don't be worried. But he is a hazard on the road, there's no doubt about it.
Oh, well, Levy didn't have a chance coming out of Cape Town corner, he really didn't. Nathan gets a hammer down. Here comes Vermato. There's a bit of speed for you. Go, Gary.
Sure, look at how those two evenly matched down that main straightaway, and very close as they come to the braking markers. Into Holshoek, West Bank corner, and it's Indy Oil GTI out in front. Ford around the outside. Vermato looking for a way through. He's hassling him, that's for sure. He's not going to let Nathan get away. In the background, great to see Ibrahim Levy, the Jive and Azrin Motorsport man, just hanging on and keeping out Andrea Bate. But Andrea Bate, I've got to say, brilliant bit of driving. Oh, look at Nathan! What are you doing, dude? Sideways City into engine corner.
ABS brakes, there could be a problem there. It's not talking to itself.
They go into the sweep now, down towards, and he's got to try and make up those ground, and he's making it up early on. He's on the inside of Andrea Bate. He's got the GTI 5 in front of him. It shouldn't be too much of a hassle for him to get past. And you can see Levy now. He can see, here comes Nathan into Malmesbury. It's only taking him 2 corners to recover, and he's made up 2 positions in those 2 corners. And that's how well Nathan is driving today. He's got his eyes set firmly on that #1 plate. He wants to retain it. He wants to go away from Cape Town leading this championship, and in order to do that, he's got to catch that man, Gary Vermato, out in front.
Well, I think they're almost level on points as it stands right now. But what I want you to have a look at, Greg, particularly with Gary Vermato's Ford, as they go out, well, obviously we're in Cape Town corner now, but on the way down this straight into the first corner, if we can get an inside shot, look at the amount of pressure that's being exerted on the front left of that Ford. It looks like the wheel's going to cave in on itself.
Dude, did you see that move from Andrea Bate on the inside of Cape Town corner, just blasting through, getting the whole shot, getting the slingshot, I should say, and getting away from Levy. So she's now up to 3rd place. She's going to be on the podium in her 2nd race ever in Bridgestone production cars. Here comes Nathan, though, side by side, and has he got what it takes on the brakes to get past Vermato? Vermato is always late on the brakes. We saw how good he was, but he's just not good enough now. And the GTR 6 takes the lead. And what a good bit of driving there to get ahead of Gary Vermato, who we already saw in the first race. Bate runs wide. Whoa! Clearly, Andrea hasn't got the same brakes on as what Gary Vermato's. But she keeps it upright. She keeps it on all 4 wheels. And man, thank goodness she had Bridgestone tyres on there, because they kept her on the black stuff. Well, only just.
She's been following them around. They're on the final lap at the moment as well. I mean, if you look at the first position, 2nd and 3rd and 4th, Andrea Bate, I mean, she's really done well today. She should secure a 3rd position here.
Brilliant stuff from the young lady, and of course that's the way we want to see things happening in Bridgestone production cars. But at the front end, it's going to make 2 victories from 2 starts, and that means 1 point in the championship between the 2 contenders in 1st and 2nd. Nathan. World-class action as always.
Well, missing as well was Essa, Bonafide, Levy and Van Rooyen way back.
Their confirmation of the victory. Graham Nathan taking Indy Oil, Volkswagen GTI, Gary Vermato, Andrea Bate, her first podium, Levy and Bonafide, your top 5.
What was going on with the car? First it was slow, then fast, then slow, and then you have this love affair with overtaking cars on the outside in Cape Town corner. I mean, what is it with you?
Well, that's what happens in your motorcars light. You can stop at latest. Gary had a lot more ballast than I did. And we got up next to each other. I'll take it to the 50 and I'll jump on the clamp. And That's it. We'll see who's, it's one of those balls moments, you know. The bigger the better, and then off we go. So yeah, no, I'm loving my car right now. It's doing a superb job. The guys have done a superb job. Thank you to Indy Oil, thanks to Volkswagen. They've given me a perfect product.
I've got to ask you two questions. First of all, what was it like to have a little iffy moment in Cape Town corner because you left the track? And the other thing, what was it like to pass Graham Nathan?
It was just great to be here today. Fourth and a third on debut. I mean, I'm very excited. I'm very happy thanks to Ford and the opportunity they gave me. The little iffy moments, we'll get some better brakes for the second session. But I'm glad I kept it under control. And yeah, I've got a little sticker on my car. I'm sure Graham got a look at it.
We're back in Cape Town for round 7, and this is a great track for us. We're always very successful here, so we're looking forward to a great race weekend. My ups and downs so far this year, started off a little down. I think I was off the pace. We had a few issues with the cars, but now we're right up there. Our cars are fantastic, and in the hunt for the championship. I'm hoping to get right up there to perhaps third place to finish. Gary looks like he can win, so we're right on it. Rivals, well, that's a contentious issue right now. Rivals, Nathan and Bonafide, probably my biggest two rivals. We always at each other. I think we have great racing. I think it adds flavour to the series. Unfortunately, at the last race at East London, it was a little bit too serious, and Bonafide took me out. The car was badly damaged, but other than that, we get on well, and it's hard racing. Well, sponsors, of course, very important. Without our sponsors, we couldn't be here, and we've got great sponsors this year. Castrol BP, been awesome. And they added huge value to our team. And of course, our biggest sponsor, Ford, they've been fantastic supporting us for the last 4 years. They've done a great job. And of course, AAA Performance, they've added huge improvements to the performance of our car. And I think without them, we couldn't do it. Top drivers, top racing. This is Westbank Super Series, Bridgestone production cars at its best.
So race number 3, 6 laps, and of course the pole sitter, Graham Nathan, setting the fastest time in race 1. This is going down to the wire, Greg.
Gennaro Bonafide still battling with a misfire, but just hanging in there, trying to get the points in the bag. Dumini's on his inside, and oh, he's got it sideways!
That's brakes.
That's locked up there, not because of a touch or anything. Unfortunately, it's just a problem on the car. Nathan into turn 2 engine corner with Pamato in third place. But look who's in second. Michael van Rooyen is back, and the Rustenburg Rocket is flying. Here we go, back on board with Sean Dumini on the back end of Levy, and Bate is in front of him. So Andrea Bate, not only has she got a podium today for the Ford team, but she's definitely shown that she's got what it takes to be in production cars and in Class T.
Well, she's getting a bit of luck as well, because all the other cars around her are just having a bit of a problem at the moment, and to have a 4th and a 3rd on your debut is just outstanding. And I'm feeling very concerned with Gennaro Bonafide. What promised to be a really good season has gone backwards.
Germany on the inside of Levy now, closes onto the back end of his teammate. So Andrea Bate is going to make it Germany behind him. That's 3 Fords in a row. If he can get around the outside, he's going to try. Late braking from Germany. Has he got around the outside of Andrea? Looks like he's been forced wide, so I don't think he has. And Andrea just maintains and keeps the boss out. They're side by side coming out of Cape Town.
Just looks like the longest corner, doesn't it? It's never ending.
Just keep going round and round and round. You think, come on, it's got to end at some stage. Now they're on the straightaway, and he's got past Andrea, so he now goes and sets his sights on his team leader there, and that, of course, is Gary Famato. He's got to get up there and try and help him out. That's how this team system works. They go around Cape Town corner, they're now into Westbank, up towards Engine, and it's a great start to the race here. It could be 3 out of 3 here for Graham Nathan, and that bodes well for this championship, as we said. There's only 1 point in it between himself and Famato at this stage, and man, that is great stuff for this championship.
Yeah, we're getting some information coming through. Gennaro Bonafide having some massive problems with the ABS brakes at the moment. That's very dodgy for him, because at these kind of speeds that they're travelling around Cape Town, you need brakes.
Oh, he's got to just stay out there, because remember, there are only 7 cars on the track, so he can still score points if something else happens to 1 or 2 of these cars, and that's usually what does and is the case in Class T. They're onto the back straight. Levy just unable to run with the pace of the Fords there, but the Golf GT5 is definitely having some problems of its own. And Levy just keeping it all together now. We're into the final stages of race number 3, and Van Rooyen has hassled Graham Nathan all race long.
Yeah, and of course, what is the gap? I mean, it's very, very close right now between Nathan and Formato. This could just put it over the edge for him.
Well, it could just move Graham Nathan into the lead going in here, because remember, Formato's down in 3rd place. So there's a possibility of Nathan leading for the last race in the championship. And that's going to make it even more interesting for race number 4 here, our Bridgestone Production Cars, Class T.
Well, I did say, would this be the defining round here with 2 to go as well? It's anybody's guess. But all I do know, the racing is fast, exciting, and furious.
Brilliant stuff here, and it's going to be 3 out of 3 for Graham Nathan. He's coming across the line. He's returning the favour on what Gary Formato did down in East London, where he took 4 victories away and took the lead of the championship. It's back-to-back stuff here. This is awesome. Nathan takes the victory. Michael Van Rooyen comes through into 2nd place, and he takes the lead in the championship. Graham Nathan will be happy with that. Formato now has to go and do something very good in race 4 if he wants to get up there and retain the championship lead going into the next round.
So our final race is a rolling start, 4 curls inverted, and again we find the Fords on the front row, Duminy and Formato there.
Oh, that's not a good sign for the GTR brigade, and Michael Van Rooyen can see that he's got to go early if he wants to get things done. Duminy runs wide and allows Formato through. Perfectly done. Team tactics coming into play here, but unfortunately he hasn't kept up Michael Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen's on the outside. Andrea Bate now keeping Graham Nathan at bay. He goes onto the outside for Engine corner. There's Van Rooyen on the inside into 2nd place. Can Graham Nathan drive around the outside of Duminy? I don't think it's possible. There's not a lot of grip out there, and yeah, he loses a bit of ground, and Andrea Bate retakes 4th place.
So, oh, look at that, getting really raggedy on that edge as well. Formato, Duminy, Michael Van Rooyen. There's Bate under pressure from Graham Nathan, and he will make sure he brings a lot of pressure on the way down to through the Rose Bowl and then out of Malmesbury. Now, can Graham Nathan get good drive out of there and blitz past Andrea Bate?
Well, we've seen that already on the back straight, that the GTR seems to have a little bit of an edge, but the Fords have battled, so I can't really say if it's an edge or not, because remember, the Fords were really quick the last time we came down here. He gets past her all the way down, now looking for the Opel OPC. The Williams Hunt man is in front of him. And, of course, Michael Van Rooyen has taken victories in that car, so he's not an easy man to catch and pass. And then we've still got 2 Fords to do. So Nathan has got his work cut out for him here in race 4.
I think he carries a little clipboard in that cockpit and has little boxes he ticks off. Andrea Bate, next. Michael Van Rooyen, next.
Yeah, he's got Steve Green from Rob Green Motorsport in his ears, shouting at him, going, get past that young lady. Now catch that Opel. Otherwise, we're going to be in big trouble leading into the final 2 rounds of Westbank Super Series. So the Bridgestone Production Cars, Class T. This is how close it gets. Whoa! Man, how did he miss the back of that Opel OPC? He nearly took the badge off. That's how close they were. GTR 6 around the outside. Ford SC Focus, blocking roll here from Sean Duminy. He is not going to let that OPC or the GTR through, come hell or high water, bud.
On board, this is how close it is. You get a really good appreciation of what's going on out there on this racetrack. But I'll tell you what, and Michael Van Rooyen, he's no mug. He knows how to drive that car, and it's had its day. It can be brilliant on its day. It's also had problems as well. But Nathan will carry on the fight towards the OPC Opel Astra.
A little rubbings racing between Nathan and Van Rooyen. They're not going to...
Oh, there's the bumper.
There goes the bumper. And I can't believe it, Graham Nathan just kept the thing buried. He wasn't worried about the bumper. The bumper goes flying. It's ended up somewhere in Malmesbury. And I'm sure that the Grand West Casino boys have got that now on their wall, because that's where their Boma is. Into Cape Town corner. He's closed onto the back end. Now there's going to be a slight concern there, maybe a bit of body rub. No, it's all good. I thought there might have been a little bit of extra damage on the car, but it seems to be fine. It's GTR 6 versus Opel OPC. And man, is this Force-inducted class one of the best racing you're going to see anywhere in the world.
Into Cape Town, rather into corner number 1 at the moment. Hard on the brakes it is. Michael Van Rooyen chasing down that Ford. He knows he's got the Indy Oil GTI 6 behind him. And Nathan needs the point. What a tussle this is between Nathan and Formato.
There's only 6 laps in it. How the hell are they going to get to the front if these two are going to be battling this hard? Here they come into engine corner. Late braking from Opel, and Michael Van Rooyen, brilliantly done. But he runs slightly wide. That might just give an opportunity for a better drive from Nathan. He's going to go with him. Formato and Duminy are getting away because these two are having a little in-house battle. You don't want to do that. You kind of want to work together, because even though you're in different manufacturers, the Ford team are working together and they're getting away.
Yeah, I was having a look at this. I'll tell you what, Nathan's going to dive down the inside. I think he's got the line. Yes, he does. Great driving from Nathan. Michael van Rooyen really just had to open the door there for him.
Well, he's now become the VTEC trailer on the back of that GTI as they go down the back straight away. Now these two need to work together. They've got to catch the two Fords. Andrea Bate in 5th place there, not really a concern. We're into the second last lap here as they go into Rose Foundation once again. And Michael van Rooyen's lost a little bit of ground there. Graham Nathan has made up ground. He's got Germany in his sights, and he knows that Sean Germany, he has to get past him.
Well, the way this is going at the moment, 2012 for me will be the pivotal racing calendar. It really will, because a lot of these teams have spent time developing cars. What to look forward for 2012? I think it's going to be brilliant.
Down towards Cape Town corner, and this is where Graham Nathan's got to make up everything on the brakes. He comes down to Cape Town. He's late on the brakes. He comes right up. Germany's got a problem. Whoa! Nathan just misses Germany. Germany slowed up dramatically there. How did he get... Man alive, how did he get that going so quickly? Brilliant driving there from Graham Nathan. He could have gone into the back of Germany. He decided not to. He turned left, went off the circuit. Oh, how did he miss Sean Germany? I have no idea.
How did he miss the wall?
It's just amazing driving there. Some great skills being shown there by the big man. But that's now opened up things at the front end. Graham Nathan has to go hunting in this last lap. Will he catch Andrea Bate? That's what he'll aim for. He'll try and get Andrea Bate before the checkered flag comes out. But Formato's got it sewn up now. Germany's in the perfect position to keep out the Opel. But what a bit of driving there from Graham Nathan to miss Germany down in Cape Town corner.
I would love to see a replay of that, because that is just really epitomizes driving skill right to the fore.
Absolutely awesome stuff, and that's the kind of skill they've got right the way through this field. I've got to say, I don't know if anybody else could have saved that, but for Mato, he's very happy because he's going to finish up on top of the championship. Yeah, we see, oh, and Nathan's got problems. He's still spinning out, so there must be a hassle on the ABS now. Now that he's had that little incident, it looks like Bonafide's got past him too. So whatever went wrong as he climbed on the anchors down here in Cape Town corner the last time they came down here, it's definitely caused a problem on the car, and he's now going to have to just nurse it home. If Bonafide's got past 7th place is in the cards, he's not going to score points, but it is going to give Gary Formato the lead of the championship with a final victory going to the Ford team. Germany comes through in 2nd place, and Michael van Rooyen in 3rd.
Outstanding stuff it is from Formato, and that chase for the championship standings is right on the money.
It was nearly a Ford 1, 2, and 3, but unfortunately Michael van Rooyen spoiled the day for them, and then it was Gennaro Bonafide in 5th.
Hasn't been the greatest day for the team, but at least you don't walk away from Cape Town with nothing.
Exactly. I think, you know, we continue. We've won around at every meeting we've been to, so I was happy to at least keep that that sort of record intact. But you know, today the car was great. I mean, the car is good. Done a lot of work, and the car is probably improved from even East London. But yeah, for whatever reason, we just weren't on the pace today. The other cars are just too quick for us. So you know, you got to play the hand you've got. Save the tyres for the end of the day, and you know, at least try to bring something. We knew the reverse grid would possibly give us something to work with, and it did. So you've got to take what you can get in the day.
Brilliant stuff, and heading into the final round with only just under 100 points up for grabs. 5 points between Formato and Nathan, and Bonafide still with a calculated chance.
Right, let's have a look at the manufacturers' point standings as they stand, and Volkswagen, by virtue of they dominate the field. 925, Audi, Ford, Subaru, BMW, Nissan, and then Opel.
Hi, I'm Nizam Issa from Asden Motorsport. I race a Golf 5 GTI. Please come and join us the 5th of November at Swartkops. Hope to see you there.
Remember the 5th of November, and there's going to be fireworks at Swartkops, no doubt about it. For more information on that, westbanksuperseries.co.za. Log on and check it out.
That's a wrap of the Bridgestone production cars. Next up is the Westbank V8 Supercars, as well as the Engine Volkswagen Cup. I'm Gugu. See you next time.